Pushing back against authority in any of its forms can impact your life in subtle or overt ways. No matter what gets written in that giant book of ever-growing laws that are dictated onto us from various authorities, compliance will always boil down to how strong the enforcement mechanisms are. Let's step through a real-world example by asking one simple question. If speeding's against the law, why is it so common? I think the answer is pretty obvious. There are way more people speeding than there are cops enforcing speed limits. Despite there being tens or hundreds of thousands of speeding tickets written every year, your actual statistical probability of getting one any average time you go driving is remarkably low. There would have to be armies of police doing traffic enforcement on the roads to have any meaningful impact to the number of people speeding. Cops in the ruling class are very much aware of this, so they have to make choices based on that reality. This is where softer forms of coercion like warning signs, amplified penalty zones, or awareness campaigns can get people to police their own behaviors incredibly effectively. All these enforcement mechanisms engage in emotion that is stronger and easier to access in humans than any other, which is why it's what authorities hammer over and over in order to gain your compliance. Fear is such a powerful motivator because it triggers our natural survival instincts, pushing us to take action to move away from danger and towards safety. Riding a motorcycle has forced me to confront fear and anxiety over and over and over, which allows me to be more calm, regulated, and logical in stressful situations. Through Anarchist Calisthenics, you purposely expose yourself to small, manageable risks that build up your confidence and break down the ways that authority has taught you to feel fear in order to control you. The more you test the enforcement mechanisms at your job, in school, or in the streets, the more you're going to see how weak those mechanisms are and how much freedom is available to you if you want to take it. This will allow you to develop your own personal risk assessment, which lets you make decisions from your values, not from coercion of authority. The change that comes from high risk, high reward resistance actions, like when I sued the sheriff's department, get all the glory. But small, low risk acts of defiance done by masses of people matter even more. Let me give an example of how the riders in my area have made us all safer by a mass action of rejecting unjust authority.